Walk through of IGCSE foundation paper 1F. Just trying to think what year it's from. Let me have a look. It is June 2022. Write down the name of the city with the greatest age. Let's have a look at all our ages. Should spot the greatest here is 5,669. Write down the name of the city. It's Gaziantep. Gaziantep. Write the number 2,534 in words. I did actually say it there. You just write that in words. Write the number 2,351 correct to the nearest 10. So it's between 2,350, 2,360. It's closest to 2,350. Work out the difference in age between these two cities. Don't forget you can use your calculator at all times. You just put your numbers in your calculator. Difference means subtract. 608. A millennium is 1,000 years. What is the age of Jenin in whole millenniums? There's 4,000s in there, isn't it? So it's 4 millenniums. Simplify, so you've got 12a, add 3a is 15a, take away 7a is 8a. 8 times 3b, 24b. How do you make C the subject here? Times both sides by 3. C is 27. Three bananas, 7 pairs, so there's 10 altogether, and this line is conveniently split up into tenths. Write down the left of the arrow that points to the probability that Simon takes a pear. So 7/10, which is 0.7, and C. A grape, well, there are no grapes, so it's 0, which is A. Emma has some carrots, potatoes, and some onions in a bag. She says the probability of taking at random a carrot from the bag is 1.4. Emma is not correct. Explain why. What's greater than 1? We can't have probabilities greater than 1. Just see what else they give you for that. So the probability cannot be more than 1. It adds to 1. Scale goes to 1. Has to be below 1. 5 sides, pentagon. Put 360 on this number line. Well, if you just check what it's going up in first, that's 100 divided by 5 is 20. It's going up in 20. So 320, 40, 60. There. What's the time? 1:45. Don't know if it's AM or PM, so we can just leave it as 1:45 there. If you'd have put 13:45 and 24-hour clock, that is fine. If you had put AM or PM, that would also be fine. Suitable metric unit for the length of a pencil being centimetres. An even number, or we could use 6, or you could have used 8. Multiple of 9, so a number here in the 9 times table, 27. A square number, 25, because 5 squared, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 is a square number. A prime number has exactly 2 factors, so you could have chosen 3, or 7, or 11. Use brackets to make this statement correct. So I know that 9 times 11 is 99, so I'm wondering if that's going to help. If we put those together, 2 squared, add 5, 4 add 5 is 9. If we put those together, 3 squared is 9 plus 2 is 11. Yeah, so they would go there and there. Work out the value of x. Angles on a straight line, add up to 180. 180. Take away 48 is 132. Reason, angles on a straight line, add to 180. Right, make sure you read all the information. CDE is an equilateral triangle. Angles in a triangle add up to 180. 180 divided by 3 is 60. Make sure if you'd have missed that sentence off, you might not have got this correct. Opposite angles are the same. Angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360. I'm going to take off all these other angles. I'm going to use my calculator because I can. 70. And I've shown my working. Okay, question 7. Okay, Sandeep has 5,000 rupees to spend, 6 carnations. He buys 6 carnations at 220 rupees each. 6 times 220 is 1,320 rupees. He gets, he buys some roses. Sandeep should receive 140 rupees change from his 5,000 rupees. How many roses do I need to take off my 140 rupees because that's the change. I'm going to take off my 1,320 because that's how much my carnations cost. Which gives you 3,540 rupees. But I'm going to divide that by 295 rupees. Which gives you 12. So you bought 12 roses. Simplify. Let's collect my G's together. 12G, take away 5G is 7G. Negative 80 plus 6E is negative 2E. Work out the value of A when B is 12 and C is 4. So that 3B means 3 lots of 12, doesn't it? And I'm minusing 5 lots of 4. Could do this in separate bits if you want. You could just type it straight into your calculator. 3 times 12, take away 5 times 4, it gives you an answer of 16. Okay, solve this equation. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides first. Divide both sides by 4 to give you P is 15 over 4 is 3.75. If you'd left your answer as a fraction, that would also be fine. Can't do this one, but I'm going to explain what to do. So we want to draw a triangle just using compasses, really. Well, and a ruler to draw up our straight lines. The triangle's got to be 8 centimetres by 6 centimetres by 9 centimetres. So what I would do, this bottom line is already 8 centimetres. I'd open up your compass so it's 6 centimetres long. And I know that AC is 6 centimetres long. So put my point of my compass in A and I'd make a big old arc like this. And that's definitely not accurate. It's got to be 6. So I'm going to try and draw this. It'd be something, I don't know, like this. 6 centimetres. All those points are 6 centimetres from A. It's a circle, 6 centimetres around A. I do the same from B, but this time open your compass 9 centimetres. Put your point of your compass there and draw another big arc. Well, this is going to be 9 centimetres. So it's going to be something like this. Right, can you see whenever the 2 arcs meet, that's your 3rd point of your triangle. You join these. I'm not doing it with a ruler. I can't get your ruler on here, but you draw them together with a ruler. And that's your point C. Show all your construction lines. I'm going to leave all my arcs there. Okay, question 10. 20 boats. And Charlie wants to go on the boat at Seaside. A green boat. 7 over 20 is your answer there. A white or yellow boat. We've got 2 white. We've got 6 yellow, which is 8. So you might have 8 over 20 if you simplified it to 4 over 10 or 2 over 5. Also correct. Johan wants to make some small cakes. He finds a recipe that says he needs 360 grams of flour to make 15 small cakes. So 15 small cakes take 360 grams of flour. I'm just noticing here we've got some inconsistent units. So I'm going to change that into grams by timesing it by 1,000. because 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Johan works out how much flour we would need for 38 small cakes. Using the information given in the recipe, does Johan have enough? So if I know 15 small cakes is 360 grams, I'm going to times both of those by 2 to get 30 small cakes. 360 times 2 is 720 grams. I have so far, but I need another 8 cakes, right? So I'm going to work out for 1 small cake. So if I divide this by 15, and I divide this by 15, I get 1 small cake is 24 grams. I need 8 of these, so I'm going to times it by 8. 192 grams. So 38 small cakes is 192 grams, add 720 grams, which is 912 grams. It's only got 850, so no, does not have enough. Mean from a frequency table. First step with this, doing your first column multiplied your second column. 0 times 6 is 0, 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 7 is 21, 4 times 3 is 12. Next, we're going to add up this column, 5 add 8, add 21, add 12 is 46. Divide by the number of students, add up the number of students, we get 25. 46 divided by 25, 1.84. What do you mean? Student in class 8R is to be chosen. Probability this student won at least 1 gold star is 0.39. What's the probability they did not win? Probabilities add up to 1, right, don't they? So what's 1 minus 0.39? 0.61. Next one. Let's set up a table. I want to draw this graph. We need to set up a table first of all. X, Y. X, let's say 0, 1, 2. You just need to choose some values. You could choose more than that. I'm just going to choose 3. We need to, so when X is 0, what's Y? Well, what's minus 2 times 0 plus 3? It's 3. X is 0, Y is 3. What happens when X is 1? Well, what's minus 2 times 1 plus 3? You can just put this in your calculator. Minus 2 times 1 plus 3 is 1. So 1, 1 is another point, and let's put it in for this one. This X value, which is 2 minus 2 times 2 plus 3, minus 1. We do get, and then with a ruler, drawing these up to form a nice straight line that should look like this. In total, in 2001, the total number of cars is 39.8 million. In 2006, the total number of cars produced is 10.1 million, greater than the total number in 2001. Express 10.1 million as a percentage of 39.8 million. Let's think of it as a fraction first. What's 10.1 million as a fraction of 39.8 million? Well, it is just 10.1 million over 39.8 million. Okay, let's now divide them. So that little line means in a fraction, isn't it? Divide. So 10.1 divided by 39.8 is 0. We can forget the millions, but if you'd have written it as a million, it would have been fine. We're going to times it by 100 to get it into a percentage. And round it to 1 decimal place, so 25.4%. 2011, the total number of cars produced was 59.9 million. In 2016, the total of cars produced in the world was 21% greater. So we want to increase this by 21%, don't we? So let's get our 21% of 59.9 million first. How do we do that? Change this to a decimal. 0.21 times 59.9, 12.579 million. What we need to do though, is because we're increasing 59.9 by that amount, we're going to add it on. Which is 72.479 million. The total number of cars produced in the world was n million, the nearest whole number, so it's 72 million. The perimeter of AB DF is 48 centimetres. The perimeter is the distance around the whole shape. We know this is a square, so 48 divided by 4 is 12. Right, so here's my isosceles triangle. We know this length is 12, don't we? We know the perimeter is 30. So what's 30 take away 12? Is 18, and half it. Half of 18 is 9. So all of these are 9 here. Distance around the whole shape gives you the perimeter. So you want 9, add 9, add 9, add 9, add 9, add 9, that's 12. Gives you 66. Find the nth term of the sequence. Well, it's going up in the 4s. It's like the 4 times table, so it starts as 4n. I'm going to write the 4 times table underneath. How do you get from here to here? Subtract 3, so it's like the 4 times table, take away 3. It's quite a tricky one, this one. The nth term of arithmetic sequence is 3n plus 5. Find an expression in terms of n for the 2nth. So we replace n for this, basically. Don't worry too much about this. It's quite difficult to understand. 3 times 2m is 6m plus 5. We know these probabilities add up to 1, right? So what's 1? Take away 0.26, take away 0.18. It is 0.56. We just halve that because we know these probabilities are the same. 0.28, 0.28. The estimate for the number of times the spinner will land on 3 is 45. So I'd be thinking of this as a percentage now. 18% lands on a spinner 3 is so 18% of times it lands on a spinner 3, which is the same as 45. So what's 1%? Well, I'm going to divide both sides by 18 because I know 45 represents 18%. I don't really need that here. Hang on. So I'm going to divide both sides by 18 to get 1%. 45 divided by 18 is 2.5. I want to work out how many times it lands on a 4. It lands on a 4 28% of times, right? Because 0.28 is 28%. And times this by 28, gives you 70. Find the highest common factor of 56 and 84. I'm going to choose the smallest number, make sure I find all my factors. 1 times 56 is 56. Is 2 a factor? Yes, well, that's an even number. 56 divided by 2 is 28. Is 3 a factor? I'm not sure. 56 divided by 3 doesn't work. 56 divided by 4, yeah, 4 and 14. 5, that doesn't work. 6, 56 divided by 6 doesn't work. 7, yeah, 7 and 8. That's all your factors of 56. So I know I'm going to check. I'm going to start with the highest number and see what's a factor of 84. 84 divided by 56 doesn't work. Well, it does, but you get a decimal. 84 divided by 28. Yes, it gives me a whole number. So 28 is your answer. The lowest common multiple of 60 and 72. I'm going to write my 60 times tables out. Then I'm going to write my 72 times tables, and I'm going to carry on going. You can use your calculator, don't forget. You shouldn't make any errors in this, really. I'm going to keep going. I'll get the same number, which is 360. So that's your lowest common multiple of them both. This is a tricky one. Well, what's x first of all? We know angles around a point add up to 360. 7x add 8x is 15x, add 3x is 18x is 360. Divide both sides by 18. 360 divided by 18 is 20, so x is 20. So this means this angle here is 7 times 20, which is 140. The interior angle is 140, so for angles in polygons, there's loads of different formulas you need. To get the number of sides, the number of sides is equal to the exterior angle. No, it's not. Remembered it wrong. It's 360 divided by your exterior angle. What's your exterior angle? Well, we know your interior plus your exterior add up to 180. This is your interior angle. What's 180 minus 140? 40. So 40 equals 360 over exterior angle. No, sorry. Exterior angle is 40, which makes it a lot easier. 360 divided by 40 is 9. Expand your brackets. N squared. Add 4n. Minus 6n. Minus 6 times 4 is negative 24. Simplify n squared. 4n take away 6n is minus 2n, minus 24. Times both sides by 4. I will do it by putting this in a bracket. Expand your brackets. Which side has the least amount of x's? 3x. I'm going to take 3x off both sides. You take 3x off here, you're left with minus 5, don't forget. Then I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Minus 5, add 12 is 7. Divide both sides by 5. 7 divided by 5 is 1.4. Or if you left it as a fraction, that would also be correct. Asher bought an apartment. 2021, the values of Asher's apartment was 634,400. So it's service charge B, right? The value of Asher's apartment has increased by 4% from its value in 2028. So we've got an amount which is the original amount, 100%. If you increase it by 4%, now we've got 104%. We know 104% is equal to 634,400. We want to know what our 100% is. So what's our 1%? I'm going to divide both sides by 104. 634,400 divided by 104 is 6,100. That's 1%. So what does 100% represent? Well, let's times this by 100. Gives you 610,000. It would be in the same bracket B. Has the annual service charge changed? No. Pam bought a boat. We don't know how much Pam spent on a boat. I'm probably going to say £100, let's say, because £100, 100% makes it easier. And each year after Pam bought the boat, the value of the boat depreciated by 15%, went down by 15%. Work out the total percentage by which the value had depreciated. So I'm going to take 15% off of here. So 15% of 100. 0.15 times 100 is just 15, right? 100 take away 15 is 85. That's the price of Pam's boat in after year 1. I'm going to decrease it by 15% again. What's 15% of 85? 12.75. So I'm going to take that off of the 85. £72.25. Well, if it started out as 100 and went down to 72.25, you can always think of that as a percentage. So it's 100 minus 72.25, 27.75%. Pressure equals force over area. What do we have here? There's our force. This is our pressure. Pressure is 1.4, so you might know this in your pressure, force, area triangle like that. Pressure is 1.4. Let's stick that in the bottom. Force is 72. How do we find the area? We divide them, don't we? 72 divided by 1.4. Area is 51.428 or 429. Work out the volume of the cylinder. Well, we know this area is 51.429. You're given the volume of a cylinder. If you just look right at the front of your formula book, you see it's pi r squared h. We've already got our pi r squared because we know the area of the circle here. Where the question's gone. So we know the area of the circle is 51.429. So we just need to times it by 18 to get the volume of the cylinder. $925.7. So three significant figures, 926. Standard form, 8.9 times 10. It's a small number in standard form, so it's minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one, if I times that by 10 4 times, I get 83,400. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So what's 8 times 1? 8. What do I do with the powers? When I divide, I subtract them. So what's 6 take away minus 5 is 11. Got to power 3 everything in this bracket here. 2 cubed is 8. K squared cubed, you multiply these powers here. K to the power 6. M4 to the power 3, multiply those to get m to the power 12. Okay, so I'm going to try and draw a picture here, I think. So we've got two circles, C1, C2. C1, and that's the middle of my grid, minus 1, 3. There's my centre of C1. Centre of C2 is at 7, 18. Centre of the circles, and so this circle here, they're not drawing a circle, but imagine a circle around it with a radius of 13. Imagine a circle here with a radius of 6. Work out the distance between C1 and C2. Now, can you see here? Quite difficult to spot, but you could form a right angle triangle. This is minus 1 along, this is 7 along. So what's the difference between minus 1 and 7? It's 8. This is like 3 up, this is 18 up. The difference between 18 and 3 is 15. So it's Pythagoras. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is my hypotenuse here. So this is my x. 8 squared of 15 squared equals c squared. What's 8 squared of 15 squared? 289. Square root both sides. 17. So that is the distance between C1 and C2. Okay, explain why circle C1, explain why circle C1 intersects circles. Well, we know the difference there is 17. The radius of this circle here is 13. Add the radius of this circle here is 6. Add them together, you get 19. Well, 19 is bigger than 17, isn't it? So they must intersect. Okay, hopefully you found that useful. Thanks for listening.